Howdy, y'all. Caleb here. We're going to talk a little Seraphon point changes. We just got our FAQ document for Seraphon on the new GHB point changes. And so we're going to look at what changed. I know you've all been crossing your fingers. What's going to survive the FAQ for Seraphon? So we're going to take a look at that and see what point changes we got. Here we go. So here's what they released. Here's our point changes. Honestly, I was expecting to see asterisks all up and down this list here, especially on those heroes. As you can see here, a lot of things survive untouched. Lord Kroak, no point changes. That right there is a big one. I know that's going to cause a lot of howling and gnashing of teeth against from our opponents who really wanted to see Kroak go up to as much as 700 points, some people said. Obviously, that's a little ridiculous, but he didn't go up any points, and so I think that we survived that. That actually is a big win for Seraphon. I think you're going to have a lot of points. You do have to invest a lot in Kroak to make him good. Otherwise, he's just kind of a command point generator and pumps out a few mortals here and there. But not going up any points, I think, really helps us stay competitive. So we're going to look at what did change. We see Kroak made it through. Some of the other things that I thought were going to go up didn't get changed. We also didn't see any rule changes for Seraphon. Like, we didn't see anything on the terrain piece, the Realm Shaper engine. Nothing, no clarification on that, so it's still going to be a roll-off. The terrain rules changed a little bit in such that, they have this player A and player B different role. And so in a friendly match, you'll be able to, it's still a roll-off, but if you become player B, you'll be able to determine a little bit more which side you'll be able to take, so you can place your terrain piece accordingly. But in tournaments, all that terrain's going to be placed, and I mean, there's even a rule in there for tournaments. It's just a roll-off. So when it's really going to matter, the Realm Shaper engine is still going to be a 50-50 shot of whether you get it or not. So that's disappointing. We didn't see any bound in the spell go up in points, so I figured a couple of those might, like Geminids or Purple Sun, which that's awesome because I love bound Purple Sun. That is a lot of fun to just send that thing across the board, wrecking, shop, either which way you need it to go. So that was pretty cool. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with this. We did get some changes though. So our biggest changes, or our only changes here for our points, are kind of blown up here. And that we get the Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur went down 20 points. So I think that's a good change. He at 250 previously. I would take a Scarvent on Carnosaur just about any time over that. But now they're 20 points closer. I think that's pointed correctly. I think that's pointed right. And that 20 points difference is about right for the Old Blood. He has a little bit different command ability. He has a different weapon and has some shooting. So I like that. Good change. Good change there. The Skink Oracle on Troglodon went down 40 points. That's pretty awesome. He was definitely overcosted since he didn't have a command point, and his spell was the same as the Slon and Lord Kroak. And so he was really just there to channel Kroak's spells through. So now he's 220. He goes down in 40 points. I think this is good. I like this. I think I'm gonna field a couple of games with the Troglodon and Kroak. So that Kroak and Troglodon build drop 40 points. I'm game for that. Put Nimble and Stegodon Helm or Nimble and Cloak of Feathers on that Troglodon, and he's going to be real hard to remove off the table while you're channeling on your spells through him. The Stegodon on Skink Chief, he went down 20 points. He was at 270 before, so now he's down to 250. I also like this one. I didn't think there was any reason he should really be more expensive than an Engine of the Gods. I was taking an Engine of the Gods every time for 10 points cheaper than the Stegodon Skink Chief. Now, he's 10 points cheaper than an Engine. I might consider taking this guy if I don't need the summoning, or the heals. So I do like the Stegodon on Skink Chief, especially in Thunderquake if I'm going Stegodon heavy. Put him and 2 Stegodons, and there's my Alpha Strike. These guys running across the field, charging, shooting. That's a lot of fun. If you can get Stegodons, they've been out of stock for months. So, and the big change. Here's the change that everybody knew was coming. Salamanders going from 80 points to 110. Whoo! Up 30 points. That's a big increase. A lot of times GW will increase stuff by 10, maybe 20 points, and here we're going up 30 points basically per Salamander model. And so you're going to be bringing 3 of these. That increases the price 90 points. So instead of what was 240, now it's 330. That's a pretty big change there. It's hard to say it's not warranted. Salamanders are pretty awesome. The few games I've played them in so far, they've just absolutely wrecked stuff. And so it's not a surprise. I thought they'd maybe go to 100, 110. It's getting expensive. It's getting expensive to field Salamanders. I think you'll still see them out there, probably 1, maybe 2 units of them. I don't think you're going to see a lot of spam of Salamanders anymore, just because that 30 points each increase really hurts that MSU Salamander spam lists. So I still like them in they're best in Starborn. It's a big liability, that 5 bravery when they're in Coalesced, but I do like them in Thunderquake. So I might still take my unit in Thunderquake when I'm running the battalion. So you can work around that 5 bravery. They're still an awesome teleport unit to teleport in and snipe something of value. So if you're in Starborn, I think you're still going to see them on the table, but I think this effectively got rid of that Salamander spam. So that's good. So that's really all our changes. I did have a couple other things I wanted to point out, but they're not quite as impactful as those point changes. A couple of oddities that we have. So the Seraphon Battle Tome, our allies, they actually gave us an ally. So we are normally only able to ally in Stormcast Eternals. Our Battle Tome gave us Sylvaneth, which was interesting. I don't know that Sylvaneth was really all that great of an ally, because usually what people ally in, we already take care of. We have some ambushing units. That's what a lot of people ally in from Sylvaneth. They have some okay heroes, but they're kind of slow. I've got those heroes in this army that I'm not going to worry about Sylvaneth. But it's weird that they've taken that out of GHB 2020. Now, they've said that GHB 2020 was already printed before the Seraphon Battle Tome came out. So when they offer the FAQ for GHB, which hasn't happened yet, we're just getting the FAQ points for all the factions that weren't in it. Maybe they'll add back in Sylvaneth? I don't know. Kind of odd. Another thing along those lines, the Dread Saurian. Now, here's a weird one. So the Dread Saurian currently is 510 points for 35 wounds. 3-up save. The thing is awesome. Wish I had one. Currently in the GHB, it's down to 420 points. So I guess until this gets fixed, hey, Dread Saurian dropped 90 points. For 420 points, I would definitely take a Dread Saurian and those beautiful 35 wounds. I would imagine this is one of those things that when they release the actual FAQ for the GHB, not for each faction, that maybe that gets fixed in there as well. We'll have to wait and see. And one more slide. Here we go. Here's some things of interest, at least for me. Maybe this is an interest for your armies, but Penumbral Engine went down 90 points. You might think, why in the world is this relevant to Seraphon? I really like the Penumbral Engine if you're doing a Thunder Lizard Bastiladon spam. 3 Bastiladons around a Penumbral Engine. They have a 1-up save, re-rolling 1s. I love it. Plus, it'll generate command points if it flips the other direction, but that's kind of fun. And then another thing I like to run, Gotrek didn't get any points changes. Sweet. So he's still available as a pretty awesome hero if you want to take him as an ally. I've had a lot of fun with him since he's come out, and hopefully we'll get to keep having fun with him for a little while. So I think that's all the changes so far. We only had a couple points changes. Lord Kroak survived. Salamanders went up, but we got a couple drops other places. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Nothing got nerfed too hard. The Salamanders were expected. So yeah, what do y'all think? You still gonna take some Salamanders? How are they gonna work in your list? I was sitting here looking. I don't want to end the video yet because I want to keep talking, but the Salamanders. So you're talking 330 points for Salamanders, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out my list. And for 320, I can take 40 Saurus Warriors. Now, it's no secret I like Coalesced, and so that 5 bravery is just it can be brutal on those Salamanders. And so for the same point cost, would I rather have 40 Saurus Warriors? I don't know. It's a big jump. Salamanders, I mean, those mortals are awesome, but without the teleport in Coalesced, what do you think? Saurus Warriors, 40 Saurus Warriors, or 3 Salamanders? Let me know. All right, guys. Catch you later.